Hello and welcome back. This is Mrs. Venti. Welcome. I'm very glad that you made it. Before we get started, I want to just give you a quick reminder. Can you please like and subscribe so that you have all notifications that you need about upcoming videos? This is the Grade 10 Math Literacy playlist, and today we are going to do lesson 1.3. We're going to look at positive and negative numbers. This lesson is going to be divided into two parts because there's a lot of exercises. Today we're going to do exercise 5, 6, and 7 on page 12 and 13 of Platinum Math Lit grade 10. So the first thing we need to know is what's the difference between a positive and a negative number. And what we have on the board is a number line. So on the number line we see three different things. We see the number 0, which is in the center for us over here. And then to the right we have positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the left we have negative numbers. Now from grade 9 we know that all positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are known as natural numbers. If we include the 0 and we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got whole numbers. Now if we include the negative numbers, let's say we start by negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. All of the numbers on the screen and continuing into infinity, positive and negative, those are called integers. We are looking at integers, positive and negative and 0. In math literacy, we have to read a lot of text. Everything that's given to us is given to us in sentences, and we need to understand how do we decide how to answer the question by understanding the words. So in our text it says the temperature on a cold winter's morning on the Highveld is 3 degrees below freezing. How do we write 3 degrees below freezing? So the important thing there to hear or notice is the word below. Below is an indicator that we are going to go negative 3 degrees Celsius. Another one is saying that the wreck of the Titanic is believed to be 3,800 meters below sea level. Again, we were looking at the word below, so we write that one as negative 3,800 meters. The second floor below ground level in the parking garage is known as B2 for basement 2 or negative 2. So in this instance, below, below, below is telling us that we're doing negative, negative, negative. The opposite is going to be above, right? Exercise 5 on page 1 is telling us to express the numbers using a plus or a minus. So question A says, Johannesburg is at an elevation of 1,753 meters above sea level. So I'm writing the number 1,753 meters. We always write the unit that we are given. And because it's above, my symbol is going to be plus. Question B. On Bongi's bank account statement, it shows that 500 Rand was withdrawn. So the word withdrawn, it is 500 Rand. And we're looking at the word withdrawn. So this is one of our negative words. So this is minus 500 Rand. Next up, question C. Table Mountain is 1,076 meters above sea level. I've got 1,076 meters, and because it's above, it is positive because the word is above, right? That's my indicator. Next up, I've got the temperature dropped 7 degrees when the sun set. So how did the temperature change? It was 7 degrees Celsius, and we know that it was a drop, which we know is a negative. And lastly, E says the temperature at the top of Kilimanjaro is 10 degrees below freezing point. 10 degrees Celsius, and because it is below, we know that it is negative. The vocabulary in the sentence gives us an indication as to whether it is a positive or a negative number. Now we're going to look at temperatures, specifically the changes in temperature using positive and negative numbers. When we are given a temperature question, it always is following the pattern of a starting temperature. the change in the temperature, and an ending temperature. And of these three, they give you two and they're asking you for one. So if they're giving you the start and the change and they want you to give them the ending temperature, let's say we're starting at 2 degrees Celsius and we increase by 5 degrees. We are going to say start plus change gives us an end of 7 degrees Celsius. That is easy to understand. Now, if they are asking for the change, if they say we're starting at 2 degrees and we're ending at 7 degrees, what was the change? We need to figure out how to do that. So the ending temperature was 7 degrees and we subtract the starting temperature, which is 2 degrees. Therefore, our change is going to be a change of 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so don't worry, we're going to look at lots of examples. Okay, so question 1 is asking us, we're going to use the number line because this is going to make life so much easier. If you have got minus 5 degrees Celsius, that's that one there, and you have got minus 7 degrees Celsius, which of the two temperatures is warmer? And the way that we answer this is we know that to the right, this is positive, and to the left, this is negative. If we put it in the words that we know for temperature, to the right, this is warmer, and to the left, this is colder. So looking at these two numbers, the one more to the right is minus 5 degrees. So minus 5 degrees Celsius is warmer. Question 2 is telling us or asking us 29 degrees is how many degrees warmer than negative 7 degrees Celsius. So now I got a bigger number line in order to give us both numbers. So this question starts with 29 degrees positive and it ends with negative 7 degrees Celsius. So we've got a positive number, which is 29, and we've got a negative number, which is negative 7. What exactly are they asking us? They are asking what is the change in between, right? So if I was to do it on the number line, I would say to go from 0 to 29 is going to be 29. And then I would say to go from 0 to negative 7 is 7 jumps. So in total, it's going to be 29 plus 7. But how do we do this without a number line? That's the question. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our here. So this is the process we're going to do. We're going to start with the end, and then we're going to subtract the start, and we'll have the change. So our ending is going to be negative 7 degrees, right? This is technically 7 jump. And then our starting point is 29 degrees, 29 jump. And then if we say negative 7, negative 29, we're going to end up with a change of, so 9 and 7 is going to, I'm adding them up. 9 plus 7 is going to be 6, carry 1, 2 and 3 is 36. If I do it on the positive side, it's still going to be 6, carry 1, 36. So my answer technically is negative 36. And what that means is it is 36 jump or degrees in the negative direction, meaning we're getting colder. 36 from 29 to minus 7 are 36 hops. So this question is quite similar. They're asking us what is the difference between negative 2 degrees Celsius and positive 7 degrees Celsius. So my starting point is at negative 2. That's the start. My ending point is at positive 7, that one. Again, if I was to look on the number line, I would say 1, 2 jumps on the negative side to get to 0. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the positive side, my answer is going to be 2 plus 7. So what I'm going to do over here is going to be, we're going to say end minus start equals change, right? So we're going to say our end minus the start is going to be equal to the change or the difference. So our ending point is going to be 7 and our negative 2 is our starting point, but it's going to be minus 2. and that's going to give me my change. So this becomes 7 minus and minus becomes plus 2, and the answer is 9. It is 9 jumps. So the end minus the start, 7 minus 2. And the reason why it is plus 9, it's because it is 9 in the positive direction. 9 getting warmer, 9 to the right. Question 4, we're going to attempt to do it without a number line. So the question is saying, suppose that the temperature at midday was 21 degrees Celsius. It dropped by 9 degrees Celsius. What is the temperature at sunset? So what we want to identify is our start, our change, and our end. What are they asking us? Our starting temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. This phrase dropped by is going to tell us that this is our change. And I'm doing it in pink because dropped is negative, right? It decreased. And then our ending temperature is what the question is asking for. So we said in order to get the ending temperature, we're going to say the start plus the change is going to give us the ending temperature. So let's calculate this. We're going to start with 21 degrees Celsius. Our change is going to be negative 9 degrees. It's negative because we dropped, right? So basically we are adding a negative number. It's plus minus 9 degrees. Because we have plus times minus, this plus falls away. It's just minus. So what do we say? 21 minus 9 degrees. How do I do this? I'll quickly take you through it. So what I say is, I'm going to say 20 minus 9 is 11, plus the 1 that's left over gives me 12. So the answer here, 21 minus 9 is 12 degrees Celsius. That's my final answer. I started at 21 degrees. It dropped by 9 degrees. So now it is 12 degrees. Question 5 says that the temperature on a cold winter's day in Vancouver, Canada, was negative 4 degrees Celsius. It increased by 6 degrees Celsius by midday. What is the temperature at midday? So what I wrote down is that my start temperature is minus 4. Then my increase is obviously the change. The end is what is in question. I want the end. So my equation is start plus change equals ending temperature. So I'm going to say minus 4 degrees plus 6 degrees is equal to what? If I look at the number line, I start at minus 4 and I'm going in the plus direction 6 hops. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my ending temperature is going to be positive 2 degrees Celsius. But if I wanted to be able to do this without a calculator, I want you to see that minus 4 plus 6 is the same as 6 minus 4 or plus 6 minus 4. So you could do the positive number before you do the negative number. So 6 minus 4 is positive 2 as well. Question 6 is similar. So the same place, the temperature is minus 1 degrees in the morning, and then it got 4 degrees colder by nightfall. So what is the temperature at nightfall? So we're starting with negative 1 degrees start, and then my change is going to be 4 degrees, and because it's colder, it is negative 4 degrees. It's become less, minus 4 degrees. Here's the number line, minus 1 going 1, 2, 3, 4 in the left hand side, right? So minus 1 minus 4 gives me minus 5 degrees Celsius as my ending temperature. The last question in exercise 6 is question 7, and it tells me that we start out with 2 degrees Celsius. Then the temperature fell by 9 degrees. So falling means negative. It went down 9 degrees Celsius, and that is our change. So the question is, what is the temperature after the snow? What is the ending temperature? And again, we are going to add them. So what is 2 minus 9 degrees? So if I'm going to start at 2 on my number line, I'm going to go 9 to the left. Before we do that, what exactly do you think it is? So what do you think the change is going to be? 2 minus 9. 2 minus 2 gives me 0, and the remainder is going to be 7. So I am guessing it's going to be minus 7 degrees Celsius. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is correct. The temperature, the ending temperature is minus 7 degrees. The next concept we want to look at is how do we deal with integers or positive and negative numbers when they are doing scoring. So the example we're going to look at is going to be like ballroom dancing. And in this ballroom dancing, these people are getting both positive and negative scores based on their performance. Question number 1 is telling us that a couple received the scores of -1, 3, 2, -3, and 5. This is their score from 5 judges. Each judge gave a different score. So question 1A is asking you what is the final score. What do you have to do? Essentially, you're going to have to add everything up. -1 plus 3 plus 2 plus -3 plus 5. So there's two ways of doing that. The first way I want to show you is to group everything together. So if we add all the positive numbers together, 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 for the positive numbers. And then my negative numbers are going to be -1 minus 3 is -4, and therefore my answer is going to be 10 minus 4, which is equal to 6. That is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to go from left to right. So you need to be able to go up and down according to what it says. So let's assume we're starting at -1. I'm starting on the number line and I'm saying -1 plus 3. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. That gives me positive 2. Now add another 2, 1, 2. That gives me 4. Minus 3, 1, 2, 3. So now I am at 1, positive 1, plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my answer then ends up being 6. Those are the two ways of doing it. I prefer the one that I wrote out, where I group all of the positive numbers and then I subtract the negative numbers and I get my final answer. So that is 1A. Question B says, if the last judge was disqualified, what would the couple have scored? This means that the last points, which is 5 points, we are going to remove it so it doesn't exist. So what did the couple score? 3 and 2 gives me 5 plus negative numbers, -1 minus 3 is -4. So then their total score is going to be 5 minus 4, which is 1. Remember their previous score was 6. If the last judge is disqualified, their score is 1. Question 2 says, a local ballroom dancing competition is adjudicated by 4 judges. The score of the dancing couples A, B, C, D, and E are given in the table on the screen. Calculate the total score for each couple. That's the first thing. And the second, list the couples in the order of merit. So merit means from the best to the worst. That is what we're doing next. So first things first, we need to figure out what their total scores are. So we are going to add everything together. So remember I said that the easiest way to do it is to add the green ones or add the positive ones and then add the red ones, the negative ones, and then green minus red gives us our total. So over here I've got 3 plus 2 gives me 5, and I've got -2 minus 1, that's -3. 5 minus 3 gives me an answer of positive 2. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And my red is -2. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. And then I have -2 minus 4. That's -6. 4 minus 6 is going to be -2. -2 is my final answer for C. Question D, I've got 2 plus 2 is 4. Then I've got -3 minus 1 is -4. So my answer there is 0. And for E, I've got 4 plus 1, it's 5. Then I've got -1 minus 1 is -2. 5 minus 2 equals 3. That was the first part of the question. Get the score for each team. Now they're asking you, write down the teams in order of merit. In other words, which team will come first, which team will come second, which team will come third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so our first team is going to be the highest score. That's 5. So that's team B. Our second team is going to be 3 points, team E. Team A, then we're going to have team D, and then we're going to have team C. And that's the answer to the second part of the question. This was a long video. I hope that all of this made sense. If you have questions, figure out what it is that you don't understand so that you can ask me specifically in class. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you for part 2 of positive and negative numbers. Bye-bye.